Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Foodie Families. Today we will be making peanut butter chocolate chip buttermilk pancakes. I absolutely love these. This is a staple at my house. My son absolutely loves them. So join me as we go through making our pancakes from scratch. A couple of things before we get started though. Make sure you are working on a clean surface, that you have all the equipment that you're going to need before you get started. Double check to make sure you've got all your ingredients. Wash your hands, especially if you're going to be cooking for people other than just yourself. Pull your hair up so you're not getting hair in the food. If you have short hair, you can put a ball cap on. And of course you can wear an apron if you would like. As always, enjoy, and I hope you guys love this as much as I do. Alright, today we are making pancakes. To start, I'm going to show you what we need. We're going to need some baking powder, baking soda, some cooking oil. You don't have to add this, but I like to, a little bit of vanilla extract, sugar, salt, flour, one egg, and then it calls for buttermilk, but I don't have buttermilk, so I'm going to show you guys a way to make buttermilk using whatever milk you've got plus lemon juice or vinegar. And then also optional, we are doing chocolate chips and peanut butter morsels today. Okay, non-food items you need is 2 mixing bowls. I'm going to use my large measuring cup for my liquids, and then I've got another bowl for my dry ingredients. You want a spatula for your pan, a pan obviously. You want a whisk, some tablespoons, and a measuring cup. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, we are going to go ahead and start mixing our ingredients. We are going to start with our buttermilk. If you don't have, or if you have buttermilk, you don't have to do this step. But we're gonna pour the milk first because it's got allowed time for it to sit. So we need 1.5 cups of buttermilk or sour milk. So we're gonna go ahead and pour. So we've got 1.5 cups.
Where are you going?
And then for every cup of milk, you're going to put a tablespoon of lemon juice. So we've got 1.5 cups, so we're going to put 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. I'm going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a stir. I'm going to set it off to the side. And I can put, while that is sitting, we're going to go ahead and mix our dry ingredients. We need 1 3/4 cup all-purpose flour. That's my sugar, not my flour. So we're going to take our flour, and we are going to mix 1 3/4 cup. So I've got a 1/4 cup measuring cup here. How many scoops do you think I'm gonna need? 7, that's good. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, There's 1 cup. I need 3 more to make 3/4 cup. 1, 2, and 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. Alright, and I can put my flour to the side. Okay, to my flour, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. So we're going to add our sugar. I'll go ahead and dry off my tablespoon.
Hurry up, Mommy! Hurry up! Hurry up!
I'm working on it. Can you go watch TV with Daddy? Alright, to this I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. Next, we're going to do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Make sure you're doing baking powder and not soda. So 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2. And then 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Half a teaspoon of that. Oh, I made a mess. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up as I go. Alright, and then our last one is a 1/4 teaspoon salt. You're gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of your salt. Go ahead and give that a little bit of a mix to really incorporate the dry ingredients together. Go ahead and set that to the side. We're going to bring our buttermilk back front and center. It's had a little bit of time to sit. And to that we are going to add 1 egg. And I'm actually going to get a separate bowl to crack my egg into. Looks good. I'm going to go ahead and add that. Then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of cooking oil. 1, 2, and 3. And here, this one's optional, but I like to add the vanilla. So go ahead and add as much vanilla as you like. And then we're going to give it a good whisk. You want to make sure the egg is broken up and all your ingredients are incorporated. Alright, we'll go ahead and set that aside so I can clean up a little bit, and then we'll do our next step. Alright, we are going to go ahead and incorporate our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. So I'm going to make what is called a well in the center of my dry ingredients. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a little well in the center. And then I'm going to add my dry ingredient or my wet ingredients all at once into the center. And then I'm gonna use my whisk and whisk them together. It's okay if you've got some clumps in it. It doesn't have to be 100% smooth. Just to make sure everything's incorporated. Alright, everything's incorporated and we're going to set it to the side. I'm going to go ahead and heat our pan. Alright, our pan is heated. I have mine on medium heat. And I waited till the pan was hot to do this. So I'm going to take my 1/4 cup measuring cup and I'm going to scoop out my batter and put it in the pan. And then I'm going to sprinkle some chocolate chips and peanut butter chips onto the top of the pancake. Here we go. Alright. I'm actually going to get a spatula so that way I can scrape out my measuring cup. Alright, now is when I'm going to go ahead and put the chocolate chips and peanut butter chips. A few chocolate chips and a few peanut butter chips on my pancakes. You can put as few or as many, or you can just leave them out. You could also add blueberries. That's another one that we do a lot here. Strawberries, raspberries, whatever you really feel like. Alright, so we're going to wait for that to puff up and start to get a few bubbles and holes, and then we will check to see if they need flipped. I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but we're getting little bubbles. See, like that one right there? We're going to get those all over the top, and once we have it to where it's nice and fluffy and we've got quite a few little bubbles, then we're going to check. You'll also want a plate to put your pancakes on once they're done. Go ahead and give them a little peek. Not quite yet. Probably should have sprayed the pan before I did this, but I'll do it next time. Go ahead and try this one since it's the first one that I... This one looks like it's ready to flip. So we're going to go ahead and flip it. Let it cook. It should puff up a little bit more. These are buttermilk pancakes. If done right, it should puff up. We're going to let that one sit just a second longer. Oh! So I took a strip off of that one. Oh, that one looks like it's done. We're going to take that off the heat. that off the pan. That one looks like it's done too. We're going to stick that on the plate, and then we're going to repeat the process. We're going to repeat the process. I'm actually going to spray the pan this time so we don't have any sticking. Get us another 1/4 cup. There, and then add our chips.
It's Kiki. Hey, Daddy. It's my time. Hey, I have a question for you. I have a question for you. Where you play with pebbles? Take under. Yeah, you can buy chips where you put it. How can you find it? A little nuts. Hey, Mimi.
All right, we're gonna wait for it to puff up and get the little holes, and then we'll flip it. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that with the rest of my batter, and then I will meet you back for plating. All right, here we are plating my son's. I'm actually probably gonna cut it into strips for him, and I'm going to add a little bit of syrup. All right, let me get a knife. If you're gonna be using a knife, this should be apparent doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut his into strips. Ones. And the inside of your pancakes, you want them to look nice and fluffy and bready. Alright, I'm gonna add some syrup and we're all done. And there you have it, your buttermilk pancakes. Served with a glass of milk or some orange juice. And your meal is complete. That's all I have for you today. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that and it fills your belly and makes you as happy as it does me. I will see you in 2 weeks for our next video. Bye!